back to Velocity Garage. Well, I've been busy for the past couple weeks, so I haven't got a whole lot of stuff done as far as videos, but I've got a lot of things I've been doing, so that's why there hasn't been a whole lot of videos coming out. However, you guys did have a few questions on some of the things I've done, so I'm here to answer those questions, and then later on there will be another video as far as an update as far as what I've been doing. One of the questions I had is, what do I do with the oil line, the oil feed and oil return? So I'm going to go over that and show you guys exactly, specifically what I did on the car to make the oiling system work. The other question was my fuel system, so I'm going to just go over that real quick and tell you guys what I've set up right now. I do have an update video coming out soon for an update on my fueling system. I'll tell you guys about that as well. And then the other question was ignition. So I have all those questions. I'm going to answer them right now. Alright, for the first question, as far as the oiling system for the turbocharger, we'll start at the beginning. I am using the oil from the oil pressure sensor at the head. So right here at the far right side of the head, there's going to be a oil pressure sensor. So what I've done is I've got an adapter to rob this oil. Toyota uses a 1/8 BSPT, that's British pipe thread, for the head and the sensor. So in order to do this properly, you should get a adapter that has that proper thread on there. Otherwise it doesn't work out so good. So anyways, grab one of these. I'll put all these parts, all the parts I can, I'll put them in the description, or at least similar ones if they're still not available. Everything I got was either parts I had, or something I made, or parts I bought off eBay. But I did purchase this. This is just a stainless steel adapter, 1/8 BSPT on the head side and on the sensor side. Now on this side where I'm feeding the oil off of, I purchased one with a MPT. So this is a 1/8 MPT to a 4AN fitting. And what I've done from here is I made this line. I've got tools to make hydraulic hosing. You can use the same thing as far as push lock or hoses of that nature. Just make sure it's capable of taking the oil pressure without rupturing. So it's, this is rated at 2,000 psi for hydraulics, so I am plenty good. I don't think the oiling system on the 5S gets above 60 psi. I'm not sure what the relief pressure is, but it's fairly low. So like I said, I made this line. I used a 90-degree fitting here, and then 1/4 inch high pressure hose, and then on the bottom side it's another 90-degree fitting as well. Now what I've done on the bottom, I'll put this part in the link as well, see if I can get a video of it. Ugh. It's gonna be hard to see it. I might just post a picture of it because I don't have a video, but I have got pictures. The oil line comes right here, so this is on the bottom side of the turbo. I've got a aftermarket system that takes the original CT26 flange, and you just get rid of it, and it's got a 1/4 inch or it's got a -4 fitting on there, so that way I can just screw my -4 hose in there, whether it's braided steel or what I have. It'll all work, but just thread that on there, and then on the bottom it's got a nipple that this hose can go onto. Now it comes with hosing to do this, the kit I bought, but the hosing didn't work because it hits this downpipe right here. So what I opted to do was I actually had the OEM 3S GTE oil drain for the CT26. Now, the only problem is, since I was using that adapter, because I didn't want to mess with the oil pressure system, I had to modify the other end of it so that way it would work with my oiling system. So this bottom part down here, oil pin is from 3S GTE. This hose is the 90-degree fitting 90-degree hose for a 3S GTE, and this metal pipe is all OEM as well. Now I used a bracket and everything, but when it comes to this part right here, where it comes from this adapter to the original line, I just got a 90-degree rubber hose. Now this rubber hose may or may not be the proper hose to use. I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's oil saturated yet, or squishy. So we'll see how well it holds up, but it should be okay. Alright, this is the second question I'm going to cover. My ignition system. So, the original distributor that came in my 92 Celica has the coil built into the distributor, has a bunch of sensors. From what I read on and my experience, I could not get that distributor, the original 92 distributor, to work with my micro squirt. So the fix to that was I grabbed a distributor from a older 5S, revision 1 5S, which comes in the 90 to 91 Celica GT, and some older MR2s with the 5S. Not sure what years exactly. So I grabbed a distributor, and then since the coil is built into the 92 distributor, I had to get an external coil. The coil I used is a ST185 ignition coil, and then that coil is still ran by the original igniter from the 92 distributor. So this igniter, that part number, will still work with the external coil pack. It's the same wires, same parts, so everything clips in. The only thing I had to do was make an adapter harness, because the coil power and ground is different than the one that would normally be built into that distributor. This distributor is built exactly like the 3S GTE, so the only difference is on the camshaft input, there's actually 4 sensors, or four positions that the sensor will pick up on, whereas on the 3S GTE, there's only 1. So on the 3S GTE, you can do sequential fuel injection and also sequential timing for my coil unplugs like I have on the other car. However, on this one, since it's got the four pickups, it only allows for just normal ignition timing and then untimed fuel injection. So it's not the best for a high performance application, but if you're just trying to throw this stuff together in this car and get it going down the street on a standalone, it's not bad. I mean, this computer isn't a high-tech one, but it's a whole lot better than trying to mess around with a factory 5S computer and trying to trick it into doing things that it was never supposed to do. The final question I was having was my fuel system. I am running, I forget the exact size, but it is the Supra or what is that? I can't remember the car, but basically it's a 7M GE injector, 315cc, I believe. They are a lime green top. Now, I bought those things used off eBay because it's what I could find, and it was fairly cheap. The fuel rail is a superb fuel rail. In fact, I might be adding a 5SFE fuel rail to my 3S GTE eventually, because it's a top speed fuel rail, and it's got almost a 1/2 inch inside diameter, I believe, inside the rail. It's been a while since I messed with it, but it's fairly large. So my injector's good. My fuel lines are capable of supplying enough fuel for it, and my fuel pump is still the factory fuel pump. Anyways, that's my. Those are the questions I had: fuel, ignition, oil. Like I said, I'll post. I'll post some items off eBay in the description. That way, it gives you a link of what an idea of what you need.